Hello everybody, Jen from Scrapping Under the Influence. I am back with a new project. Super simple, super easy, and it also is a kit available on my website, scrappingundertheinfluence.com, under Project Kits. This is using the Simple Stories Crafty Babe collection in one of their flip books. I have not done a flip book in, I'm not even sure, it's probably been a good couple of years since I've done one of these, and honestly I forgot how much fun they are. So this one was a really fun one to put together. Super easy, reasonable price wise. This one I kind of envisioned as something that you could, put together really quickly to give to a friend that you craft with for their birthday, if you're going to a crop together, something just somewhere for you to put all of your pictures from your, crafty time together. So, the kit itself will have the flip album, it will have the 12 by 12 paper collection, it'll have some black cardstock, it will have some of the pink color vibe, we'll have 2 extra sheets of the pattern so that you can mat your front and back without any problems of worrying about that you're going to run out of paper. It also comes with the page pieces, the big bits, and the foam stickers. So let's take a quick flip through. So on the front we've got the big bits, page pieces, and 2 of the foam stickers. On the inside, we are going to create a pocket, so you have some extra photo mats and cut aparts and things in there. We've got a flap on this 6x8 page. Nice. The foam stickers. The foam stickers from Simple Stories are probably one of my favorite elements they do, that and the chipboard frames that they do with like the full collections. This collection is a mini collection, so it's got 6 sheets of double-sided cardstock in your 12 by 12 sticker sheet. So we did use a good portion of that. We used almost all the foam stickers, we used almost all of the big bits, and almost all of the page pieces in decorating this. So that just is a nice little flip right there. Nice big photo spot here. We've got our 4x6s, we've got our 3x4s, we've got a little flip there. 4x6 and 3x4. And again, 6x8. And this one was actually one sheet that I kind of envisioned as like the center of the book and, kind of almost a mini layout where you can just get your pictures in there and you're good to go. A couple more 4x6, some more 3x4 with another flap and another flap, and then we've got a 4x6 flap. And then again, the last set of 3x4s, and then another nice big pocket on the inside. And what's nice is because it is the expandable clasp type hinge system with these, you can always add more stuff to it if you wanted to. So that is the project, and the tutorial starts next. Grab your kit. Your kit will have a cutting guide and everything in it to do the entire project in its entirety. There is nothing you need to add except adhesive. So let's get to it. Middle pages. Okay. So my vision for this is this super cute page that's basically a layout waiting to happen is going to be a layout. So we are just going to slide these in. Now, the Simple Stories pages are, it's close, they're like 6 1/8 wide on the inside, but then they're like 8 1/4 tall-ish. 8 1/4, 8 1/2 tall. So you are going to have a little bit of gap up here. If that bothers you, cut it a little bit bigger, take a scrap somewhere along the way and like do a border strip up here. Whatever will make you, make you happy for this page. But okay, so that's the papers that are going in there. I'm going to go back this way. We're going to go through our pieces that are all cut apart. So we've got some 4x6 here. We've got our tags, which I'm going to set aside because they still need to have the little dog ears trimmed. We've got our 4x4s. I'm also going to set aside So we've got all of our 3x4 and 4x6, and then we've got our 3x4 and 4x6 mats. So 4x4 goes in that pile. Okay, so first one up is, no, that's the 6x8. That's the other 6x8. I knew. Okay, so I'm going to throw that one in there. I'm going to flip this one around and put up on top. Okay, so there we go. We are, of course, going to embellish on the outside of the page so that it's not making your page protectors bulge out with embellishments on the inside, because that makes me absolutely want to scream. So, and again, go through, pick the ones that speak to you in the order that you want them in. You absolutely do not have to do this exactly how I'm doing it. But like I said, we're trying to keep this a very simple, easy to do project that's not going to make you crazy. At least not make you too crazy. I don't know. It's me, so it's probably going to still make me crazy, no matter what I try and do. So, okay, I'm going to put this one flower side up. Okay, there we go. Next one, we have a 4x6 on the bottom. I am going to go ahead and put one of my black 4x6 in here. And we're going to get a couple of these for the top. I think we're going to go like that. Like so. And again, like so. So on the back side, then we've got our little hearts. Here's our two layouts. So we're back here with another 4x6. So this one we're going to use up top here. This one. We're going to move this page to the back, actually, so that I don't have those stripe on stripe like right next to each other. So then where is... There we go. Okay, so this one we're going to end up with, and I don't think I cut it yet. The pink color pop will go on the top on this one. Here we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And then we'll need another mat for this one down here. So this one is going to face that. So I do want this one facing towards that back page. And vice versa. Okay. Then here, this one I'm not a huge fan of that one, so I am going to put one of the black photo mats in there. And if there's any of these that, like, you know, if that little pink jacket isn't your thing, throw it. That's why we have those 3x4 black mats. Okay, so that one's going to go over here. Like so. Okay. So that's our base pieces. We need to cut a few more pieces. I'll be right back. Where is my corner rounder? There it is. It was out. It was just not where I thought it was. Okay. So we're going to do the 4. Now we're going to do the 7. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then that one is going to go down right here on our front cover. Okay. You can use glue. I am going to use my tape runner because this one, like I said, it's not meant to be like a super fancy, difficult. It's meant to be an easy project. Okay. So I have well, maybe I do. This is the Easy Runner Grand, the Ultra Permanent, which I absolutely prefer over the little red insert for these, which is nice because you can swap these out. And I'm pretty sure most all of us have these or the ATG guns. So I'm going to get this mostly centered like so. We'll come back and decorate that later, but at least this way we've got our page in. I am going to go to my middle where my 2 6x8 that are facing each other are. Actually, I'll loosen this up just a little bit more. Okay, so voiceover time. You should have 2 pieces that are 4x8. We are going to use these for the pockets on the front and back inside cover. So you're going to start with the 8-inch at the top of the scoreboard. And I can see on screen I had not found my scoring tool yet. So there we go. 8 inches across the top. You're going to score it 1/2 inch and 7.5. You're going to turn it to the 4-inch side and score it at 1/2 inch or 3.5. It's easier to score at the 3.5, but apparently I'm going to do it the difficult way. You're going to do that on both of these pieces. So again, 1/2 inch and 7.5. Turn it. And this one I actually did the easy way at 3.5. So go ahead and do that. And then you're going to miter these. So you're going to cut through the score lines at the bottom where they cross. And then you're going to miter at the top. And always cut from your score line out so that you don't accidentally cut into your score line. I don't know why it keeps doing that with the color. It's something with, like, I think stuff reflects off of the light because it's more centered right there, and then it just does weird stuff. Anyway, sorry about that. All right, so now it's going to go on the front inside cover. So you're going to fold and burnish all your score lines. And this was where I think I could not find my bone folder. So I'm just going to talk about it. You're going to fold and burnish your score lines. And apparently still haven't found the bone folder. This is why I hate doing voiceovers. There we go, that'll work. Because I can never do it at the same pace that I did it when I was recording it, but the audio on this was out of sync and I don't know why. So there you go. All right, fold and burnish. And then we are going to round the bottom corner where it lines up with the bottom corner of the cover so that it's consistent all the way around, like so. You're going to have about 1/8 of an inch on all 3 sides as you do this. I am using the tape runner just because it tends to, you can glue to the covers on the Simple Stories flip albums, but they tend to slide because it doesn't dry as fast as going like cardstock to cardstock. So since I've got the really good tape runner out, I'm just going to use that. It's fine. It won't hurt a thing. Okay, so we've got that down. We're going to do the same thing for the back inside cover. We're going to go ahead and fold and burnish on this one as well. And I can tell I am struggling with the weird bone folder. You get used to using a certain tool, and when you can't find it, yeah. And it's literally because my desk is such a disaster right now. The only clean spot you're seeing is what's on camera. The rest of it is unspeakable right now. But that's okay.
I'll get it cleaned up once I finish doing this voiceover. Okay, round your outside corner again, which I forgot to do before I put the adhesive on, but it's okay. And again, we're just going to line it up the same place like we did before. For matting on this, it's going to be 3 1/4 by 6 3/4. So I've got 2 pieces that are the back side of the cute light blue that's got all the little crafty elements on it. So those are going to go on top of there. Same thing, you're just going to round your corner wherever the corner happens to line up on this one. And go ahead and adhere those down. I'm just continuing with the tape runner. I don't get the glue out at any point during this project, so just in case you were wondering. You might be, I don't know. You might not. You may never use glue. You may always use tape. I have no idea. It is your craft room. You do what makes you happy. Oh my God, I'm telling you. Yeah, it's been a week. All right, and I'm going to put that on crooked apparently, because of course I am. It was late last night when I was doing this. And then I've got 2 pieces that are 6 by 7 that are the other half of that same sheet. And then I think, well, yeah. And those are going to kind of slide down into the pocket. You may have to trim a little bit off. You'll just have to kind of see where it sits. You could put it down first and then do your pocket down. I didn't, but that's always an option as well. I ended up having to take about 1/8 of an inch off, I think it was, on both of those, and to get them to line up the way I wanted them to line up. And then go ahead and adhere that down as well. Okay, back outside cover, we are using the back side of the cut aparts on the extra sheet if you have the kit. And that is 8 3/8 by 7 1/4, I believe. If you bought the kit, it's on the cutting guide. I don't remember exactly. I have the post-it. I don't know what I've done with it, but that's okay. If you're doing it, just, kind of watching where I'm putting things, measure it, go 1/4 of an inch smaller. That's what I did anywhere I had to mat something like this in this project. So next up, we've got one of our inserts for our 6 by 8 pages. This one is 6 by 12. I'm going to slide this down into the page protector, and I'm going to mark where the top of that page ends up being, because it's not just 6 by 8, it actually is 8.5 deep. But just, to get yours exact, slide it in there, put little tick marks where it lines up, and then score it, which I did use the scoring blade on my trimmer because I made tiny marks and it was easier to line them up on that to score it than it was to put it in the scoreboard. So fold and burnish again, and then we're going to just slide that one down in. I have a piece of the pink color vibe. We're going to put dot side up that is 5 by 8. So I'm going to adhere that one on the back. And we are not doing any embellishing on the pages or the inserts on the inserts for the pages themselves. All embellishments are going to be on the outside of the page protectors so that they don't end up making the page protectors bulge out, because that drives me absolutely up the wall. So we're going to take our crafty paper, we're going to cut our mat for the top of that, and I'm going to use the one with the hearts for the bottom half. I didn't end up using the flower side on that one at all. Wasn't my favorite out of the patterns in this collection. Since it is a mini collection, you're kind of limited. It makes it perfect for one of the flip albums. So we're going to cut that the same way we did the first. No, we're not. We're going to cut that to 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. Yeah, 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. That's going to go on the, and see, that's where I'm just double checking my measurement. It is 8 1/2. Measure yours, adjust accordingly. So I want that to be 8 1/4. So that one's going to go on there. And then the pink Crafty Babe, that top flap is 3 1/2. So I'm doing 3 1/4 by 5 3/4 for that piece. And you will have some of the pattern paper left if you bought the kit. So kind of watch it through, see what I do, and if you want to follow the matting exactly, you can. If you want to change it up, you should be able to change some of the elements without running out of paper. So I'm just going to adhere that one down and adhere the top part of it down. And then we will do our other little flippy pieces that are going to go in here. Okay, there's that. And I think I was crooked again. I seriously could not put anything down straight last night. I had to come back in here this afternoon and like pull something off of one of the pages and fix it because it was seriously like that wonky. And then one that I looked at it today and I was like, no, I don't like that, so I had to fix it. Because this is how this goes. Okay, so we're going to slide that in there. That one is done, other than, of course, the decorating that will happen on the outside of the page protector. So, I have no idea what I was probably talking about there, probably about how to put your pictures in there, but you guys are scrapbookers. You can figure that out. You should not be taking my advice on how to put a picture in something because Lord knows I never do it. So we've got our 4x6s there. We have got our 3x4s. So we did use all of the cut aparts in various places here. On this one, we do have a black 4x6 mat. I'm going to take one of my 4x6 pink ones and trim it down 1/4 inch on each side. So I have that black edge showing. So I'm cutting that down to 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I'm going to put it on. Or no, I cut the black one down to 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 and put it on top of the solid side of the pink, and then left the tone on tone dot side of the pink with the color vibe, which is probably what I really love about the color vibe, is the solid, and then you've got the tone on tone dots on the other side. So kind of reminds me of the Bow Bunny double dot paper from like a million years ago when I first started doing any of this stuff. Because that was my favorite, and I had a bunch of it hoarded for a long time, and I think I finally have used it all. But that's a whole other story. Okay, so we've got that one. Next page is going to be our 6x8, the two 6x8s that are together that we did kind of as more of a layout. So we're going to go ahead and put, I have a 6x8 of the color vibe that I'm going to slide down in there. And I'm going to put a 4x6 black mat on top of it before I do. I just felt like that tied in better with the page that's facing it. You, of course, can do your pages in whatever order you would like, because that's the beauty of these types of projects. So there's our layout page. This one, I'm actually going to use that little scrap from the other half of the Crafty, or no, I'm sorry, the hearts. the little top piece that we did not use on the very first page, I'm going to use as a photo mat on this, because it looks really pretty on there. And then you've got like that whole space down below that you can add some of the embellishments to the outside of the page later on. Okay, so I'm going to trim that. No, I don't need to trim that one down. It's okay. It was okay width-wise. It was already 5 3/4. So it's 5 3/4 by like 3 1/4, I think. But it's a good size. Put a photo on top of it, even if it's a smaller one, because then you'll still have the pretty pattern peeking out. So there is that page. The next one we have a 4x6 with a black photo mat, and then we've got another, I think on this one, did I end up just doing this as another? No. Okay, so this one ends up being one black 4x6 and one of the Color Vibe pink 4x6. And then we end up just kind of decorating them later on without getting too crazy. Because I know personally I have a hard time not using just all pattern paper and like, okay, so I ended up tucking the tags in here and I ended up pulling them back out later. I decided I really didn't like that. So we're going to skip this part. All right, so next page is again the 3x4. We have all cut aparts in there. Same thing on that one. And then we've got our 4x6 cut apart. We will come back to these in just a minute because I think when I put them in here originally, I ended up swapping this out a little bit because we've got some pieces that I had it sitting in the wrong pile. So that are 3x8. So we're going to score these at 4 inches and we're going to make them little flaps. And then we have one that is 6x8 that we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to score all of these with the 8 inches at the top at 4 inches. And we're going to insert these into those page protectors. And they're going to be little flaps that sit on the outside of the page protector. So I don't think this needs a whole lot of explanation. You're just going to fold that over, slip it in, and then mat it however you see fit. I ended up using some of my scraps, and the same thing with some of the other couple of the 3x4. Okay, so what I ended up doing here is I just took a couple of the cut aparts and trimmed them down 1/4 inch on height, 1/4 inch on width, like going 1/8 on all 4 sides so that it was, still centered. And put those down that way. And probably not something you need to spend a whole lot of time watching me do because they're cut aparts, you're matting them. Not exactly hard, but I'll show you on this one. So I'm just going 1/8 of an inch, turn it, go 1/8 of an inch again, turn 1/8 of an inch, turn 1/8 of an inch again, and that gives you your 1/4 of an inch off of the height and the width. And then it will sit on top of your little flip. Just exactly. And if you don't want to do the little flips, you absolutely do not have to. It is totally optional. I just think it's fun. It's something, a little more interactive with this type of album. It's not something that, you do every single time. And I'm not doing it on every single one of them. I think there's 3 of those and then the one 4x6. And then we're back to the boot cut apart that I just did not like. So I know I spent a good 20 minutes like playing with this, trying to get it to look like I wanted. So we're gonna skip that. Okay, so at this point we have done front and back inside cover. We've got this ready to go. We've done this. I ended up repositioning this and just putting another mat underneath it. That we're going to leave as is. That's fine. Whoops, that one's fine. This one, I did have the tags tucked in there, but I think we're going to do something different. So we do have, this is what I've got left as far as like scraps and things go. So I've got some options here. So I think what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm just going to do a strip on here. So I don't even, we're just going to do a strip of this along the bottom. Like so. So if you ended up journaling on this with like a white gel pen or something, or let's do, which piece was I looking for? Okay, so I'm just going to do a 1x4 strip over here. That way, like I was starting to say before my son came down here and scared me half to death, you've got a picture, you can put it where it just comes up to that edge. You can journal on this on the top. On this one, the back side with the polka dots I'm going to leave as is. The front part of this, I think I'm going to go about like that. So I don't even know what the size this scrap is. This is what, 4 1/4 by 3 5/8? I don't know. So that's the thing, is it doesn't all have to be like exactly matted. With something like this, you know, where it's very easy to put pictures in, something you can give to somebody maybe even that doesn't scrapbook necessarily. It's still something that you can do that, you know, they're going to be able to figure out what to do with their pictures without you having to tell them, which I understand completely that this theme is probably not exactly what you would do for somebody who doesn't scrapbook, but you get my point. Okay, there's that. So then we need to do this one front and back. So for this one, I'm going to use this. So I'm going to cut this to 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'm actually going to do that one for the back side. Is this the right side? No. And then I'm going to use this one. So 3 3/4 and 5 3/4. So I don't think I want. I like the hearts better. I don't know. The flower pattern on the back side of this one was, it's pretty, but if we had more options, I would probably use it, but this all kind of fits together the way I've been doing it, so that's what we're going to do. And of course, you can put this together whichever way works for you. Okay. So I'm going to go back in here. This is all good. That's good. This is good. So you've got extra left for photo mats. So that's what all of this will end up being, is photo mats. I've got our 4x4 cut aparts here. Well, the two 4x4 and the 2x2s. The 2x2s I will end up leaving just like they are. In fact, honestly, I don't think I would mat the back of these. I think I would just tuck these in somewhere. We'll do the same thing with the tags. So at this point, you're down to decorating. So let's start with the cover. So on the cover, from the big bits, I'm going to do the tumbler and the big tag, because I love the big tag. The big tag is adorable. And I just need something else for like this spot right here. And I'm going to go ahead and just put this one down. And then like I somehow kind of got that over on that side. Okay. This one I do want foam squares, which I don't think I grabbed those. Okay, so thin foam squares. I'm just going to kind of go around.
This is probably more than I really need, but you know what? I have a whole sheet of them. It's fine. Okay. Now then.
All right, so then we just need something down here. So we also have, of course, our entire sticker sheet. So, and we have the page pieces. Because I debated with the page pieces if I wanted this guy down here. And I think I decided I didn't. But that might work. Let's do that guy. I like him. Okay. So I'm using the little Polaroid out of the page pieces. Okay. So, because I do want this to have a little bit more dimension. I'm going to double these up. Okay. And then let's do this little living the scrappin' life. We're going to put down like so. And then let's do this little puffy heart up there. And there's our cover. Pretty cute. Okay. So since that's done, I'm going to put my little prongs back in so they're ready to go. and set that whole thing to the side. Now, this is where it's going to get to be a lot more fun. So, at this point, I'm just going to find things that, I know what I didn't do. Didn't do anything on that. But I think I want this create down here with the foam stickers. Let's go with this one over here. I'm going to leave the rest of that as is. If anything, what I might do is, no, I think I'm going to leave that for now. If I decide I need to add something to it, I'll come back. Okay, so on this back side, let's do, I've got a border strip on here that says, let's get creative. So I'm going to run that one across the bottom here without totally pulling it off the sheet, just so I can get it lined up where I want it, and cut it off. Okay, so that's going across the bottom. Excuse me. And then let's do, let's see here. No, I don't like that up there either. So we've got lots of like little hearts and things. There we go. That one. That is the one I want up here. So this one I am going to pop, well, am I going to pop it up? I don't know. Am I? You can't tell me. You're watching a video. It's been a long week, you guys. Seriously, like I was down here working on this last night, and I'm like, how is it Wednesday? How's it Wednesday night? And then, yeah, now it's Thursday, late afternoon, and I'm still kind of shell-shocked that, like, it's Thursday somehow. I don't know. It happens. Okay, so that one is going to go right up here. I think that's going to be super cute. And if you wanted to, if you had like really tiny pictures, you could put tiny pictures on top of these. And that would be absolutely adorable. For crying out loud. Those don't want to slide off of that. Okay. There we go. So that, I love how that came out. That's way cute. Okay, set that one over there. This one, I am just going to add some stickers. I don't know which ones. Let's do paintbrush. Try not to totally stick that down just yet. And the scissors and the washi. Okay, so let's go. Scissors like so. Paintbrush, washi. So then you can still stick a picture in there and be able to see it behind your stuff. And that will be just fine. All right, backside. Let's do this super cute paper stickers, washi, chipboard, die cuts, stamps on there. Let's see, what have we got? And the page pieces, whoops. So we have that cute cluster. We've got this nice creative, which I kind of want to put. I don't think I want that one here. I'm not really sure. Don't think so. So let's do this one on the outside of the pocket, so it's very easy to journal on. I'm just going to put it down here. And then I'm going to take a foam heart, put on top. And another one. Well, yeah, because it really needs two. Okay, there we go. All right, so on this inside here, we are going to take this cute little memories, and I'm going to put it on this outside edge, open it up, and I'm going to grab, let's do that one. This one, line it up on top. See, they're sandwiched together. And then you can put let's party photos and so stickers, photos, let's party. Let's get there. Let's do something on this one. Let's go with we've got lots of flowers, so let's do that. Let's do a couple of flowers over here. Oh wait, let's do that one. I like that guy. Okay, so there's that side's good to go. Although we could use some more of our little words here. So let's do this. I'm going to do every night is craft night. I'm going to tuck it underneath the edge of that flower and run it across like that. And I think that's going to be cute. Yep, I like that. Okay, let's flip it over. Back side doesn't really need a whole lot. But I think what I will do is, let's see here, what have we got? Let's knock out the page pieces while we've got them right here, rather than me digging into that package every time I turn around. All right, so let's see here. I kind of like the little words for the page pieces. So they say, let's get totally fabulous. So what we could do, let's get like that. I think I like that. That'll work. Okay, there's the one. So I'm going to slide them down like that. And that will be good. I think my tape runner is too wide. Let me see if my mini one is really close. I have somewhere here like a micro tape runner. Otherwise I'm going to have to get out the tiny score tape. So let's do that. Let's get out the threaded 1/8" score tape that I have a love-hate relationship with. It's really handy doing shakers. It's really hard to work with. Okay. And if you're afraid that your tape gun's not going to hold, score tape will hold. Foam squares will hold. If you've got glue dots are fabulous for this. Did I slide all the way down? Let's go all the way down. I like that. Yeah, glue dots work. You just don't want to put our embellishments on the insides of the pockets because it makes them bulge out really weird, and honestly that's the whole reason I've been like anti page protector for like as long as I've scrapbooked, because one of the first layouts I did on my own, and if I showed it to you you would laugh so hard because it's so bad, but I was brand new to this. I was so proud of myself. It took me like an entire afternoon to come up with this thing, because this is partially why I don't do like traditional layouts. I'm better at it now, but because they would just take me forever. And that's where I was like, oh, look, a kit. And then I don't have to think about it. And then I learned how to do these. It drove me nuts because I had it and it was dimensional. It was so, I thought at the time, I mean, it wasn't, it was okay. It was a good effort for a first try. And I went to put it in the page protector. The page protector is all bulging out. And I was like, I hate this. Okay, so that one's good. We wanted to add something else. We could add some of like the little foam hearts. But I don't think we could add one. Let's add one. Ooh, let's add this little pink plaid one. Let's put him up there. Okay, there we go. All right, this one is going to be one of the fun ones again. So this one, I'm going to do the Crafty Babe foam stickers up here at the top. I don't care that it covers that up. That one's okay as is. In fact, those are probably not spots I would be putting pictures in anyway, assuming I actually get around to putting pictures in anything. And we know me, so we all know this is probably not going to happen. I don't know. It might. I might surprise all of you and just start putting pictures in things. You'll be like, what'd you do with Jennifer? Stashed her somewhere, haven't you? No. Can you tell it's been a long week? Oh my god. Okay. So let's go back to our sticker sheet. And let's do... I'm going to want my little ViewMaster piece down in this corner. And that's the shaker I need to work on. I cut one for myself that was like the ViewMaster with the reel in the top for a virtual thing that I did just to decorate the project that I did from somebody else's directions. It was so cute, and I need to figure out how hard it's going to be to actually do them and sell them, because it was so stinking cute. You have no idea. Okay, so let's go like that. And then we're going to go paper, glue, washi, and then see, I need to move those up. This is the nice thing about putting it on the outside. It's very easy to just rearrange this, especially right after you put them down. You wait too long, it gets a little bit harder. blue washi. Crafty friends. There we go. Okay, I like that. Let's add a little flower cluster up here. Okay. All right. Go to the back. And this is where I'm going to put this nice big share your story. Actually, I'm going to do it right there so you can still put your pictures in. We can say, let's do some more flowers like this. Okay, there we go. All right, this one. So this is a good one. So let's do nope, I don't think I want that one up there. I do think I want this one, however. There we go. And then on the bottom, I'm going to do the same little thing we did on the other 6x8, where I ran the border strip along the outside. So I've left it attached to my sheet because there's no point pulling it off and wasting the whole thing. Okay, there's that. Okay, so now let's grab both of these together, because this is basically kind of our layout. So I'm envisioning 4x6 pictures here. We've got that we could use the bigger page piece or the big bits piece there. Is that the big bits or is this the, no, this is the page pieces camera with the washi. And then we could even take our, I literally just saw them, there they are. We've got our scissors that we could, because they will fit actually exactly on top of that. Foam ones do not. But there's these two little speech bubbles on here that say, I have too much paper, and then said no one ever. Those I want to use on here. So I'm going to put one over here. I'm going to put one over here. And then let's put the I'm going to put bin there. Oops, we're not quite frame. On the very bottom, sorry about that. And there's scrapped that there. I'm going to put Born to Create up here. And I don't know that it really, other than that, maybe just a heart here and there. So we've got some of the smaller ones here that we can put down. And then let's do the black one. Yeah, okay, there we go. So that's all ready to go for your pictures. On the back side of this one here, we're going to do big Crafty foamy. We're going to kind of put him up there, so you could put another smaller picture down here if you wanted to. And this is where we're going to take our simple stories water bottle. We're going to take our washi tape stack and our scissors. Like so. There we go. All right. Now, this one, we're going to use our Crafty Babe sticker here. We're going to use this little cluster. I don't know what you call that, like the little tab thing. I don't know. File tab. That's what I'm telling you. I need to go just reset for tonight. We're going to put that one there. This guy, I'm going to put like so. We're going to put this little memories on top of it. Okay. Let's move those out of the way for a second. Because we've got all of these little pieces that actually I kind of want to put them well, no, I'll do it on the outside. That's what I was trying to decide if I really wanted it on the outside. I wanted to slide that out and put it on the inside, but I think so we can kind of layer it like that. Okay. Backside. All right. So the backside, we're going to use this guy. About like so. We are not going to pop him up. And you don't want to go too far over because this outside edge is going to be on underneath the little edge piece on your book. Okay. So that one is going to go there. And then let's do another one of these flower clusters. No, I think it needs to be this guy. Because he doesn't really get lost actually. He's okay. Maybe one of the smaller ones. Or go like that. Nope, I don't like that. See, and this is, somebody had asked about me doing something to kind of show my design process. Literally, this is it. Usually, though, I'm not recording myself. There is much swearing involved because, I'll put something down and then go, oh, God, no, I didn't mean to do that. And, So I'm being like all polite and I'm not, calling myself an idiot. And all of the things that usually happen when I am all by myself in my craft room designing things. Okay. All right. So this one, we've got another little flap. So we are going to take another set of these little tabs and sandwich them just like we did before. Because I do that with like the Doodlebug ones all the time and it's just really cute. Okay. So we'll do some of the stickers in here. No, not that one. I want Scrappy Friends up here. That one's good. And on this one, we're actually going to put him on top of there. Because that makes it look you know, like it's popping off the page, because it kind of is. And we're going to do the same thing up here over the top of that one. So there we go, easy peasy. I'm going to grab a little flower cluster here. And just kind of tuck it over there. That one I'm going to leave as is. We're going to turn it over. Backside's good. We're going to do something else on there. So I think I'm going to do those. And I'm going to do this guy up here. Okay. All right, so we still have quite a few bigger pieces left. We've got 2 more pages. All right, so this one, we're going to use a nice big camera. We are going to pop him up on top of our flap here. And onto the piece, not onto the paper. Okay. And then I think we're going to do him there, maybe. No. Let's see here. Okay, so we're going to do that little crafty sticker there. And the scissors. Okay. All right, there's that one. Hold on one second. Okay, so for the back side here, really don't need to do a whole lot. I'll find somewhere to use that, I swear. I don't think I like that there. Okay, where's my other? Okay, that's good there. That Live Love scrap down there. Okay. See, that one we're going to put up there. That one has a home. It's this guy. It's driving me crazy. I think he'll go back there. All right. I don't know that I'm going to use that one. I don't think I'm going to. Okay. That's okay there. That one I don't mind now. All right, there we go. So then let's do my crafty friends. We're going to kind of tuck that partially underneath. Okay. We're going to do this so little time, so many memories up here. And then let's do that heart there. And not. Okay. So that's good there. This little guy we are going to pop up on the back page. So we have found him a home. Okay. So there's that guy. Oh, we still have scissors we haven't used too. Yeah. That's okay. And let's take another one of these flower clusters and put it up here. Okay. All right. So there's that. This guy is going to go down up here because I think he gets too lost on there. We're going to put this foam down there. So the only foams I haven't used are the cowboy boot, the high heel, the hanger, the little VW bus, and the roller skate. And of course, you may want to do yours completely different. It is your project after all. I'm just making this easy for those of you who don't want to think about it. That is probably what I like most about this type of project. It's easy, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort, yet it's still fun. Okay. All right. So that's that. That's the whole thing. So now we're going to put him back together. So we have, and I don't know that we're really going to need them. They're probably not going to do a whole lot of good. We have our little spacer pieces. I'm going to try this without them because I think just by virtue of the foam pieces and whatnot, because honestly, I totally forgot I had the foams. And I'm the one designing the project, so what does that tell you? That it's been a long week. Okay. And rather than like push this all the way down, I am going to leave it like basically kind of where the pages sit when they're stacked. Without pushing it down super tight. Okay. There you go. You have your chunky, super fast, super easy little Crafty Babe flip book. And you've got your little extra, oh, Jesus, stuff flies everywhere. You've got your little tags that I did not go through and trim. So let's do that really quick. And yes, you are seeing this right. I still can't trim them straight even when they're on here. This is the whole reason I've made my tag tool. Okay. So I am going to stick a couple of these in this pocket with one of these. Put this to the back, put the other ones in here, the other two. You can take the rest of your scraps, because you do have a bunch of, you have a couple of 3x4 and a bunch of, or a bunch of 3x4 and a couple of 4x6 extra photo mats that I had you cut that you can just tuck in these as well. So we only ended up using a couple of them because I wasn't entirely sure. Sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't. I think we have a couple of 4x4 too, but that's okay. All right. And if you want to add anything else to the back, you've still got some words, you've still got a border strip, you've still got some other fun little elements, like we've got another little tumbler, we've got the cowboy hat, we've got the cute little jacket, we've got a camera we didn't use. You've got some options if you want to change it up a little bit, but there you go. Not too bad. As always, thank you for watching, and I will be back soon with another project.